So, tell me, man, house is about 1 month lockdown in New York. I remember I was there like 2 days before Trump closed the country, and also New York was like becoming empty, nobody out the street. I went to the airport like easy traffic and everything else. And then I remember that we had a last meeting in your office, and many colleagues was already out of the office, and then you get like the next day out of office too. I'm wondering, asking you, how is about 30 days lockdown New York, man? New York is the center of the situation right now. How
I
you
mean,
feeling?
as of now, like I mean, since I met up with you a month ago, and you actually came to our office, and we have great discussion, great meetings. Obviously, the day after our meeting, we actually closed our office, and 2 days after that, we got a notification not to be back in the office for the rest of the month. Since then, New York has become the epicenter of the coronavirus in the US. Most business, actually all the non-essential business, are being closed. So right now, only pharmacy and supermarkets and hospital are currently open. So as you can see, the whole economic is in shakedown now. Everything is, I wouldn't say in trouble, but it's very difficult for most business if you cannot work from home to actually survive. So restaurants are closed, bars are closing, a lot of small business are suffering. So if I can compare to any other crises that have been happening in the world before, even in the US or in Europe, it's this crisis is impacting everybody. Everybody is being impacted. So on our side, obviously, as entertainment and sports, obviously everything has been cancelled or everything has been postponed. All the sport leagues have been postponed as of now. Same thing with concert, live entertainment, everything is being cancelled and postponed. And I think it's going to be the case until until the science community find a solution. But in terms of impact in our business, I would say the question now is, especially for sports, is how you can resume, because those leagues has to resume for somehow. How are you going to resume with no fans? And you know for a fact that what makes entertainment and sports so great is the emotions that fans create.
So you said something that was really interesting about the fan experience. As we know in our business, the experience, the feeling, the emotional that make everything exciting and great. Like people pay to feel the emotion, right? It's not only watching. So, but now I'm seeing a lot of celebrities and music talents doing like live concerts. Now, when you see a lot of this live on internet, do you think that something great? Do you think that is something just for now? Do you think it's something for the future? What do you think about it? If you was talking about like
So I think as of now, it's very important and it's really working well because people obviously they want to see something new. They want new content. So people they're hungry for content, for new content. So everything content related on a digital level, it's working right now because people they want new content. And surprisingly, before, like when you have athletes and celebrities, some of them before, like not all of them, but some of them I can see they were not really open to share their home or to connect with the fans directly. Now more and more they're going to do that. So moving forward is going to become the norm because as of now, I don't see any events or concert for the rest of the year with publics or with fans involved. Now, as marketer like myself, yourself, I think we need to come up with solution and think about where we can engage with fans using all the technology. So that would be augmented reality, virtual reality, because once again, when the seasons they're going to resume and the leagues they're going to resume, the Champions League is going to resume, the NBA, the NFL. Obviously, most of those games they will play with no fans, but as you know, for teams, fans are really important from a financial point of view. So as marketers, we need to find ways using augmented reality and VR and any technology we have at the moment to recreate that emotion. Go back to your point with how people live through the pandemic now. The more we advance in time, the more it's clear that most of those leagues, they will resume with no fans. And even in the US, in terms of music festival, there will be no music festival this summer, even moving forward. And so as of now, we need to come up with some solution to recreate that emotion for fans. And the next step, when the season resumes, and that can be this summer or in the fall, is to find ways to provide solution for fans to actually experience a game at home. And it hasn't been done before, you know. So to go back to that, I think if you take the Olympics, they made a really good idea about postponing the competition for next year, because at the end of the day, like sports entertainment, it's a communion. People need to be together to experience it, you know. And yeah.
So in your point, basically, like everything's happening now could be helping all the new technologies and development of VR things or broadcasting things, finding for quality. All the talents need to be learning and be prepared for the future to not exactly cancel the live performance, but also be prepared to broadcasting everything. Basically, what are you saying in a way to entertainment business is basically like it's time to be much more professional in your screening social relationship, or because if you're looking for the past, you see like someone make like a house selfie, relax or whatever, and then everybody like this kind of behind the scene, like real day life.
Yeah.
So now when you see like these broadcasting concerts and events or whatever, and in one point you say you be the great time to redevelop and prepare for the better future, to use the both live and digital, looking for quality, for cameras, for cut, for VR, everything else could be now be the time for learning and be better. And to the talent perspective is basically work more, not just like show something, because everybody be expecting to pay like the games. I think we are talking about like games business is basically like this, like a virtuality world that people get in there. And one thing happening in the games, I think, is basically like people chat and game together all over the world, right? Like one boy in Brazil can be chatting with someone that they never met. That is the reality that already exists in a game. But the quality of the games, the quality of the conversation, let's say, in the game, I think, and then I want to ask you if you agree. I think it's something to all the performers and celebrities and talents work to make better. Not only like let's make a live, but make something like huge. You know, like make sense what I'm saying?
No, it does. It does, and that's the next step, because as of now, obviously, so that's the thing. Like now, like you have the internet, you have social media, it's flooded with content. TikTok, everybody's going to those platforms. Now the next step is how you propose some programming around that, and how you monetize that, and how you put a brand behind that. Because as you said, like before, celebrities, they are doing the behind the scene. Okay, it's me, it's my home. That's what I'm doing with my kids. Now they're doing it because there's no competition, there's no sport. So now they're doing it every day. It's becoming, I wouldn't say a job, but now they're doing it. They say a rendezvous. They say, okay, meet me on Friday. I do a chat with my friend or with my teammate. And 2 days later, I'm going to do a chat with my coach. So now it's becoming a routine. It's becoming something not spontaneous. Now it's becoming something you have to do, because fans, they want content, and people, they want content. So the next step will be to actually do some, provide a better technology, and also create some, how like to monetize it, or how to use your current brand or sponsor to be integrated into that and take it to the next level. So you create that ecosystem. Now for games, I think that's a good point. That should be the next step. How to, obviously not, you cannot bring 10,000 people on a Zoom to watch a football game, but there will be a solution for fans to get together and celebrate a game or celebrate a goal. And also on the other side, for the team, let's say in a stadium, they will. My vision is that they will have to create augmented reality as well to actually bring the fan atmosphere to the stadium for the players, because the players they cannot play with no. I mean, we've seen that exactly a month ago in Champions League. We've seen that they play games without fans. It was made in case of emergency. It was probably, I mean, it wasn't a one-off because now most of the season they're going to resume with no fans. But there are ways to actually bring that fan love, that fan experience into the stadium for the players when they walk into the pitch, when they score a goal, to actually receive some direct connection with the fans, you know. And it can be from a screen like virtual reality, or like even broadcasting, you know, like you're a fan, you're at home and you see your player, your team score, and you're filming yourself, and then the video goes into the stadium and the players, they can actually see that, you know. So there's different ways to actually recreate that. But yeah, that's why we have to think as marketers right now, and even in sport, even in music, the same way. Because when it comes to live entertainment and music, obviously nightclubs, festival, they won't open anytime soon. So, and a lot of artists, they have projects coming up, they have music they need to put out, and music, as much important as a sport, it's something that people resonate really well and they need in their life, you know. So it's a show must go on, I would say, but in a different way. And I think that's the best takeaway with this time right now. It's a good way to rethink everything, because as you can see, we've noticed that nothing is permanent. So we need to rethink everything, the way we work, the way we saw businesses. It's not because businesses has been done for the past 10 years in a certain way for music and festival that it has to be done the same way moving forward, you know. And this is very unfortunate because we're in the middle of a pandemic, but that's a good timing to rethink everything, to talk to people, to call people in your industry, colleagues, specialists in different areas that you're not specialists, you know, in tech, in any other aspect, and get their opinion. And also, most of all, like talk with athletes, talk with musicians, talk with influencers, you know, and to see what do they care about, what will make them perform better. You know, if you talk to an athlete and he says, because obviously athletes, it's not proven, but playing in front of people, it makes you better, it motivates you. Now you're going to go and play with no fans, you know. So it's going to be a different setting. Is your performance going to be the same? Is your motivation going to be the same? You know, it's really frustrating for them. You know, you want to play in front of people that cheers for you, that love you. You want to play in front of your family. You want to have that physical connection. You know, that's the difference between professional sport and amateur sport. Amateur sport, you play in front of nobody. And then you play professional, you play at Maracana in front of 80,000 people, and people, they scream your name every 5 minutes, you know. So it's that would be good actually to get the input of athletes and how they see how it will impact their performance overall.
New York, in the business perspective, is the center of the world is locked down, and then everybody trying to keep working. Those like you and like myself, when I travel to New York to do meetings, what I'm asking you is like, do you think that change in the perspective, like you supposed to go and meeting someone in Upper Side, and then you in let's say Tribeca? My question to you is, do you think now, after everything, New York business people will be much more like, let's make a chat and not take this transit time to meeting for something that we can make through the video?
No, I think if all the health issues are resolved and people are being cautious, it's going to be business as usual, because that's the nature of New York. Like, you know, the nature of New Yorkers. people are really strong. People is strong. Like as of now, I mean, we've been on lockdown for a month. Like it's business as usual. We do meetings every day. We having calls. People are still aggressive. They still people still wants to do business. So that's a good thing. So I think as much as the health, I mean, it's safe. I would say like people will resume to like network and meet with people. As of now, obviously, we're lucky to have the technology, to have Zoom, to have Skype, to talk to people. The good thing as well is that since everybody is at home, I mean, obviously everybody's busy, but like people, they appreciate and they take the time to get on the phone and to talk to people. That's why I've been experiencing, and that's a really good way. Like a lot of people, they actually take time to chat. I would say people take more of their time now. There's less like a rush of moving to one part of the city to another, one meeting to another. You know, like people, they really take time to get on the phone, get on Zoom, get on Skype, and have like quality discussion and discuss everything. Yeah, so that's I think that's the main takeaway, is that the quality of conversation now and like the way people they take time is really crucial. It's a good thing. But going back to moving into time, obviously, I believe if everything is safe, it's going to be the same as before in terms of networking and moving forward. I mean, it's New York City.
Is this?
Yeah, it's New York. Like people like if there's like people, they have to get business done, and people they're really brave and they're really strong. So yeah, it's gonna be the same.
You put out a great point right now about the quality. I think like we said about the quality of transmission in the future. Sounds to me that what you're saying is like everything could be back in the normal to go back and forward people outside of the street, whatever is crowd or not. But what are you saying that I think is very important? It's about the quality. I think you're saying like people will be much more intelligent of the quality of the meeting, why I have to do the meeting, why I have to go there or not. I think that's a good point. I think that's a good learning about quality, right? Quality of time, quality of conversation, quality of transmission, quality of broadcasting. I think that's a good point.
No, it is, and that's for every, when you think about it in life, in every crisis and when everything happened, like one of the best takeaway obviously is like you see what's not working or what's not essential, and you focus on what is essential, and that's something you will carry moving forward. And for you, for whoever is watching, for yourself, like right now, every day you're having conversation, or you're thinking about, okay, when things gonna resume and when things are gonna be safe, where should I focus on? What is important to me? What matters to me? What matters to my business? And I think it's really important. And just wanted to make a segue even for brands. Like if you're a brand now, you need to think about what's important for your brand now. What are your core values? What do you stand for? Because one thing moving forward after this pandemic and after the crisis is that people, they would expect in general for brands, or if you're talent or whatever it is, like now you need to address different aspects. It's business as usual, but you need to think about the impact of your business on the environment, on the health of people, on the safety of people. That's really, really important. And many brands, they're starting having those conversations a few months ago, even a year ago, 2 years ago, especially in Europe. Quite some agency and brands, they were really focused on the environment and how you make everything safe moving forward, and you try to be sustainable businesses. But now more than ever, it's really, really important. Like people, they will be really receptive to that. And
so I know that you love Brazil. You already, in the past you worked with Pelé, one of the legend, the real idol of Brazil. I have been with you a couple times in Teresa in New York with Pelé together in all Pelé teams, and we noticed how you guys. I have friends of mine from Brazil. One thing that I always notice, like they love Brazil, they love Brazilians. So we finish our conversation, as we know Brazil, as we know Brazilian business and everything else. If you have to look to Brazil, because we are now in São Paulo in the kind of lockdown like New York. I'm seeing Brazil taking care really good on this situation, or outside of political things, but in a major way, as citizens and society, I'm seeing like everybody trying to work together. That's a good thing to see. You know what I'm saying? In a general perspective, our health system shows very good in a way that we are not healthiest country in the world. We've seen people in Brazil that are always suffering and always suffering to be out, to be in party, to be playing outside because we are a tropical country. Everybody is respecting everything. And of course, not 100%, but I'm honest, as a Brazilian, I'm seeing a good way how Brazilian is leading with all those things in COVID-19. But my question and my final question to you, in a way to everybody, take a look and see, like, I can see someone out there thinking and things that could be helping me here. What's your point? What's your message for them?
I mean, just to make a comparison with, like, if I take a comparison with Sao Paulo and New York, like, they're both cities with a huge density, a huge population. So I can totally understand the situation you guys are in right now. Obviously, people have to stay safe. They have to stay inside. But at the same time, and if I take the Brazilian market in general, it's a huge market. It's a very dynamic market. And I think there's one of the key components of the Brazilian market for live entertainment and music and sport is one of the best in the world, obviously, because the culture really resonates on that, and you have some of the best athletes and the best artists globally, or even like regional in Latin America. So all the thinking I was saying before, the way we need to rethink everything here and the way we engage with fans, I think that will be impacted in Brazil as well. That's the thing. Like right now, what's happening right now is not a Brazil situation, is not a French situation, is not a UK situation, is not a New York situation. It's a global situation because we're all in the same position. We all in the same position. The concert, the leagues, what we do for business, we all in the same boat as of now. So the good thing as of now is like the takeaways we can take from what's going on in Germany or what's going on in Spain, or when things will resume in the UK or France, like we can apply that to Brazil, we can apply that to Chile, we can apply that to the US. That's why I say it's very important to stay connected with people in our businesses that live in different markets and different countries. And I think that's why it's really great we're having this relationship and we're having this chat right now, because moving forward we need to exchange those takeaways and how we can apply things to different markets, because we all, like, this is a crisis that actually currently impacting everybody, and obviously Brazil as being a key market and a very important market for brands or even for fans in the world for live entertainment and sport. Like anything we can learn from, like I can learn here in New York when things will resume, I think that can apply to Sao Paulo, and even like pretty soon in Europe, they're going to resume some of the football league. And I think same thing, like the leagues in Brazil, they can look at it and see what's working, what's not working, and then you apply it to your specific market. Because people, they want to have fun, they want to get together in a very safe way, but with keeping the essence of what they fell in love with that football team, or why they fell in love with that performers, with that artist. And going back to our points, like I would put ourselves as global people because we have work experience in different countries, and every day I'm on WhatsApp, I'm talking with people in Asia, in Africa, in Europe, talking to you in Brazil. So I'm gathering all those information, and that's the way people should do generally, like if you have the possibility to read what's going on in different countries and how leagues or how entertainment is doing in different countries, because everybody's impacted, but at different stages. So it's very important to see what people are doing. And I think we from yourself and myself, we're lucky enough to have this global network of professional, and don't hesitate to call people, asking their opinion, what do they think, what they're doing in the industry, what they're doing. And that can be a different industry. It doesn't have to be your industry. It can be a different industry, and try to understand what they're doing. I'm having conversation with people in Canada that work in hospitality. I talk with people in New York that work in finance. I talk with people in Africa who works in different in entertainment industry. And I'm trying to learn how they're reacting, how they try to improve, how they try to adapt. And I think gathering all those key learnings makes you a better marketer, and also for when you go to a brand and you talk to them, I think you have a better expertise overall.
Great. Brother, miss you, and thank you so much.
No, my pleasure. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I think like many people call me to talk to them about my point of view. It basically is because I'm always outside thinking differently and bringing information from outside and everything else. And I just realized, like, why not I bring from your mouth, from your talk to them, not exactly through me, as we can also use the technology and use the time to share a good conversation. So I really appreciate, and I think we can see each other soon. I hope.
So.
We can get sometimes in the summer in New York together.
Hopefully.
Let's pray for that happen. And right on, bro. Thanks so much.
No, thank you very much, and stay safe, stay healthy, and we're gonna go through this.
Thank you, brother.
Take care. Muito obrigado.
Obrigado.